Well, good morning. Another episode of the Yes Way Jose program, and I am the host, Jose.
I thought you were going to say, I am the Jose.
Well, that would be fine, too.
Yeah.
I'm good with either one of those things. I just know I am not that I am. That I know I'm not, right?
What did you just say?
I heard it.
So he heard it, and we're going to explain that to you in a minute because we got a special guest for you today. He's going to explain exactly what I said. So you two, I'm going to need to talk to you about going to service.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were having a stroke. I didn't know that you were quoting scripture.
Mumbling.
So again, welcome to another. Good morning. This is a way to wake up the staff. I mean, sometimes you got to figure out the best way to do this. But anyway, we always have fun on this podcast. But hey, we have an email address. Don't we have that we want to share with everybody?
Yeah, it's yeswayjosemail@gmail.com.
Nailed it.
Still got it.
Man, these guys are good together. I'm telling you what. Hey, practice makes perfect.
We've discovered now if we make eye contact beforehand.
Is that so? It's the eye contact
Yeah, I
piece.
think that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, that helps.
Okay. All right. Well, we're glad to get, and we got Eli here. Eli,
for once,
good morning.
yeah.
Listen, all fairness to Eli, when he's not here, we do badmouth him.
Yeah.
And we like
I edit these podcasts, by the way.
Yeah. Did you? Oh, so that's why we're not hearing all that stuff on the podcast about.
Yeah, make sure to edit that part
I was about
out.
to say, he gets to hear all the bad mouthing while he's editing it.
Yeah, and then he just takes it out. Right. Anyway.
Well, not always, because sometimes I just skip through where Jose's talking, because I'm like, he's going to talk for 3 minutes here.
It
makes it easier to edit.
Does everybody listening to this podcast understand what's going on now? I may go on strike.
He did. He said because when we edit it, we have to watch it back, and we're basically just switching camera angles while we're watching it.
Yeah.
And so he said that he's like, whenever Jose starts talking, I just kind of skip to where he
Skip,
stops talking
skip.
because he usually talks for a while.
So what you heard is on the Yes Way Jose program, Jose talks a lot. Is that what we're saying?
I think so. Well, you are the special guest host of all times or whatever.
Yeah, of ever.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Well, he's the host now. Yeah.
Yeah, I
He
got
is
promoted
the-
today. I got
he's
past
the
my,
Jose.
Yeah, I got past the probationary period, didn't I?
I think so.
Yeah. So anyway, this podcast, when we release it, it'll be somewhere in January. So we want to tell everybody, I hope you can weather the cold weather, because that's usually when we get the most of our cold
It's
weather.
pretty cold right now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And it is. This year's different. December's gotten a little colder.
It was warm yesterday. Woke up today. It was cold.
It was like
Yeah.
the first week of December was like, is it December yet? It's kind of it's like
Yeah.
70 degrees out here, and then all of a sudden it was like
No.
20 degrees.
Yeah, it got cold, and it's supposed to get cold again. So anyway, good morning, and we obviously have a special guest. We have a return guest. Is he our first return guest?
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
I think so.
I'm feeling
Yes.
special
This is
Unless you
morning.
count
We
the
have-
special guest of all times. Yes.
That's me. And that's me.
coming
That's
back.
me. That's me.
We can't get rid of that guy.
No. I've got what do I have, a forever contract? Something like that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it up.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's
I'm
going to be
not
hard to do Yes Way Jose without Jose. So yeah,
Oh, I like that. That's job security.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
I'm good with it. So anyway, we're hoping that obviously your holidays were the very best, and I hope you had the best of Christmas with your families. And when you listen to this podcast, you're getting a return guest from EJ Lanham from Field of Grace. So good morning, EJ.
Good morning. So blessed to be here.
Yeah, we're going to have you here. We've got some really cool things we're going to talk about today. But, we kind of do the mingling thing that first few minutes. We were not productive at all with those first 5 minutes.
That's fun.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fun.
As long as we're good with it. 'Cause
Well, I mean,
I'm always kind of the guy who want to get
Well,
stuff
look,
done.
we're sitting here like a good 4 days from Christmas. So we're kind of in vacation.
letting our hair
mode.
down, all three
Yeah.
of them. All three of them.
All three
I
of
was
them,
going to
yep.
braid them for the holidays, but I decided no.
You three all have the same haircut, too.
Yeah, no, I was
Yeah,
saying,
well, this is pretty recent.
This is
If
natural.
If I was here the
This
first
is
time you were on this
natural.
podcast, I would not be the hair I had.
This is natural. It's just
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that's just, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Be careful.
gonna-
Be
I was
careful.
gonna cut my
You're
hair.
still on retainer, Eli.
I was going to cut my hair last night to make look all nice,
Yeah,
but I was like,
yeah.
just let it down. I'm just
Yeah.
letting it down.
Yeah,
This is
it looks like it's getting close to getting in your eyes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right. With all that said, well, good morning, EJ. And I tell you what, EJ, and I want to start with Field of Grace. When you look at this community and the things we've been talking about, things that are going on with us, I got to tell you, you don't get where we're at right now without good partners like EJ and Field of Grace. What I love most, and I know we got some great things we're talking about, is just the participation of his group. I mean, when there's anything going on, man, it's like, no, that's not 3 people, 30, 40 people.
Yeah,
and
I see
it's
him
amazing.
I see him on Facebook all the time doing stuff with
it's good
the
stuff.
city.
So with all that said, EJ, first of all, I hope that when this podcast gets out, you had a wonderful Christmas with not only your family, but your church family as well, because I'm very, very impressed. So good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be here. We are excited. It is just 5 days, I guess, from Christmas.
Yeah,
And
Wednesday, right?
Today's the 20th. So, yeah,
Yep.
and I've got
Yep.
4 kids at home, and they keep counting down. And as they're counting down, I'm watching my wallet count down as well.
Yeah, so when you guys see EJ as a Walmart greeter, after the holidays.
Right,
He's
yeah.
paying for all those
You'll
presents.
understand why.
Taking
You'll
part-time
understand.
jobs.
Hey, isn't that EJ? Yes, he's got a highlighter too. Check my receipt. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. But anyway, so I want to get right into it because when you hear this podcast, it's going to be, we have already began the Dream Center project, and we've been kind of talking about it a lot. We postponed it for just a little bit, and EJ now has it ready to go, and we're just going to launch this thing. But anyway, EJ, just share with the folks here a little bit about this program because we're excited to hear this.
Absolutely. So the Dream Center is something that we brought to the mayor and have a great partnership with the city. Just trying to help young people understand that we can dream and there's something bigger and greater out there. We want to make it a community hub where they can come together as a safe place to inspire, to equip and empower young people in our county. We've got great business partners in the area as well that's going to come together. The fire department, the police department's coming in, the local library is going to come in, Active Heroes, Jenny from the Turnaround Center. So this
Maybe they'll bring in the mayor.
The mayor should come in for sure.
Maybe
We could launch we could do a podcast night.
There you go.
Teach the kids how to podcast and then host a podcast one of the night. Look at that. We just
There you go.
there's dreaming already. We're dreaming.
How much are they paying?
A dollar in perpetuity.
We're going to double your salary again.
We'll add a zero to the end of it.
I can't
That's
count.
awesome.
I can't keep counting how many times Eli's had his salary doubled at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
he's
real.
making a gazillion zeros.
Still the same.
A gazillion zeros. I will tell you that obviously that's a great idea, EJ. I think to have something like that because this is a new. I mean, this is folks like this stuff. Podcasts are coming back a little bit, right? I talk to people all the time. It's really interesting. I know that we keep our audience grows a little bit at a time, little baby steps. And as far as what we see, as far as people seeing, I encourage everybody just listen to one episode. But I think, EJ, that's a great way to start. But the Dream Center, I think it does two things. We talk a lot about focus with sports, right? All the things we put on with these clinics. We do it because we want to keep kids focused and not get into trouble, right? We want to keep them busy with things that they want to do. And I think what you're doing with this venue is to actually give them a chance. What would you like to do? If you had an opportunity to take the road you want, I think that's kind of where you're going with this. And I think the thing for most people is, it's Field of Grace. It is part of the faith base that you want to put in this. But what it does more than anything else is it just lets you know people care about you. There's always agendas, I think, sometimes. I don't want to be cynical about that, but something like this is just about helping kids.
Yeah.
We keep us focused on helping kids. We're going to be in a great spot because, again, you always look at your community and you want everybody to be a productive member.
Absolutely. And the youth is the future. I mean, we have to look at that. And I think sometimes we say they're the future of tomorrow, but really they're the hope of today. And in investing in them now, though, does strengthen our community in the future. And so that's an amazing thing to consider.
No, we got somebody's going off.
Whose phone's going on?
Uh-oh. We have a dilemma. We have a dilemma.
It's not Eli.
Is that yours? Oh, is it my phone?
No, we have dilemma here.
It's got to be the one recording.
That's interesting.
I thought Santa was showing up. There's bells. I was hearing bells. Like, he's 5 days early.
Yeah, we'll edit that part out. All right.
I can repeat that if I need to. And then
let's go
back up.
So you just do your part.
This is where
What
Eli
part?
comes in, where he does
Edit.
the magic.
You do the edit part.
What?
We're saying to edit that out.
You'll edit
We're
that
gonna
out.
edit
Oh,
that
yeah,
out.
I'll do, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll say.
So do we need to speak slower when
I
you
thought,
Yeah,
I
I
thought
was
you were
like,
like
what?
telling me to say something. I was confused. I was like, I
No.
wasn't
Do
even
your
talking.
part, Eli.
Well, he said, "Do your part." Like I'd said something before. I was like, I didn't.
This is not the podcast part you were looking for.
I'm just gonna keep all this in.
Okay.
and you know what? And we're actually could be okay with that. All right.
So the youth are the future of today, and so we look at our youth sometimes, and they are easy to overlook. We think, oh, that's next year or that's 10 years from now. But by investing in them today, we really are strengthening our tomorrow. And I love the idea of that. I think sometimes the youth are easy to oversee, but they're active and they're part of it. And today's youth especially, they're trying to find a way to make a difference.
I think the biggest thing that we find out is, again, looking at our community. I bring this up, and I don't bring it up as such a negative, but it's a reality. If we talk about specifically Shepherdsville in this part of the county, we see a lot more of the lower income families, right? And so these kids may not take an opportunity or venture into something or even dabble in down a different road of life without having it being affordable. Well, free is affordable.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you think about it like that, I always look at if we give them just a chance to experiment. The whole thing with the sporting thing that we brought up, we brought that up because, kids go, I want to do that. And then you spend a couple $100 on lessons, and they after 3 practices, they go, I don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
they're expensive now to get in those leagues.
That's right. So for us, that's why we're trying to put all these different venues on. And because we changed it just from a sports, we have a lot of folks that maybe not really into sports, but really want to see what it's like to maybe be an engineer, maybe a teacher, maybe a veterinarian. Those are things that I think they're just giving them a chance to look at life in a different perspective without really a cost involved, right? Because the parents will appreciate that, because it does, and then the parents can be supportive of that, right? What we do need is that family structure. We talk a lot about the things that are successful, how kids make it in life, family structure, having folks that support them in the interests they have. So talk a little bit more about the Dream Center in the sense of some of the logistics and things that you're thinking about.
So as of right now, we're going to launch January the 6th. It's going to be a 3-day-a-week program, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. It's a free after-school care program for kids from the ages of 5th grade all the way up to high school. Right now, we've got a lot of great partnerships. We've got a basic mechanics class that's going to come in once a month, just teach how combustible engines work, how to work on a lawnmower, all the way up to how to change a car, the oil. We've got a cultural diversity class, and so one of our mission partners is going to come in.
Oh, cool.
She's traveled the world. She's married to a man from Haiti. They're going to highlight different cultures across the world, cook the foods those nights, teach the kids about that culture. There's also a music class, and so we're going to learn how to read music, sing, play guitar.
Maybe I should go to that.
Yeah,
Because I sing like I stepped on a cat.
You seem like you stepped on a cat.
I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, there's some things I do well. That ain't one of them.
Okay.
That's a no.
That's a no.
You
Hard
can always
no.
play instruments.
Well, I could.
The bongos.
Yeah, I could do some
He could handle
bongos.
the
Yeah,
bongo.
just no singing. I mean,
Tambourine.
I think you'd lose whatever
Triangle.
positive image you guys have of me. I could do the more cowbell.
Cowbell.
More cowbell.
That's a good
I could do the cowbell.
I got a fever.
Yeah. The only prescription.
More cowbell. All right, so now we're on a podcast talking about cowbells. This is all good. I'm excited for this piece, but I think what we're going back to is allowing things to happen that are affordable, and it goes with after-school programs, because the after-school program, the part is getting them to this the community center. And what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to help parents as well with some of the cost of their kids after school is out. Where do they go?
Yeah.
Right.
And so that piece we're still working out with the school board. They've been very favorable to work with us within the city limits of Shepherdsville to make a stop close to the community center where the guidance counselors, the people that are working with the program, that will make sure that they safely go into the community center, enjoy their time there, and then parents can pick them up later. Because parents don't get off at 3.
Right. Did we say where the community center is located?
The community center is located behind the old post office on Buckman. If you come down it right behind the first Harrison's at the corner there, go by 2 of the other buildings. There's an alley you just turn and go straight across. You're going across Frankie Simon back there behind the fiscal court and the judicial court.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I didn't know where it was before.
It's a great little building. It's
it.
got tons of potential for us, but a lot of things that we try to do in the city are based on how can we make it affordable for parents to have kids involved in different activities. Again, we go back to the preface, keep kids busy. Keep them interested. I mean, there are things that they want to do, but there are other things that maybe they don't know they would like.
Yeah.
You know, I think, EJ, this is going to start with a number of things. We'd love to have it maybe more than just the 3 days, but we're just starting out. Any time that you put on a community program, you want to make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Because it is something you want to make sure that people are proud of. Everything that we've done so far, the community backing, the support, but not only Field of Grace, but other organizations that have helped us, we're really trying to make sure we're making that kind of impact. Listen, we're going to grow. And listen, let me go ahead and say it. We are going to build an aquatic center.
Yeah, you're building it. Already building it.
See? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going out there. But I have to mention that every podcast. Yeah. And,
we need to have a little sound thing that just goes and clicks off.
Do I get like a penny every time I do it?
What happens whenever it's done?
I'll be talking about me getting one.
Then I'll be talking about
me.
we
have an aquatic center.
Yeah, they'll be trying to get people there.
Oh, it's a never-ending conversation. But thanks for asking. but I do think it's important with all the cool things that we're working to build up, again, improving the quality of life for our families. It's not just about aquatic centers or playgrounds or skate parks. It is about the things that you're talking about. Because when all things are said, you've got to be a productive member of society. And if we set up you for success in deciding that you can do, we talked about this before about like electricians and plumbers, the kind of money they make because of they have a short supply.
Yeah.
And so for us, maybe some of these kids can do that. I've got a grandson that he wants to be an electrician. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
He's going to make good money.
Great.
There you go.
Yeah, Eli's getting ready to take his test, I think, in
January. Again. And you guys did January together. That was really good news in January.
Well, we are twins born 15 years apart.
Yeah. I understand. I don't know how it works math-wise, but I'm going to have to go with that.
And I think a lot of times, too, we were saying a minute ago, I think it was a great point. I was raised by a single father, and he owned bars. That's what he's, my whole life. He owned bars my whole life. And so my biggest dream growing up was I was going to own a bar. That was my thought. I'm going to own a bar because it was all that I seen. And not that there's anything wrong with owning a bar.
You got a church.
I got a church very close. Same thing.
Church, bar. Yeah.
Sitting on a bar, sitting on a pew, very close. People walking around, kissing and hugging on you. It looks the same. The idea that, hey, all you can see sometimes as a young kid is what's right there in front of you. But there's other options. And so having the police come in and say, you know what, maybe this is a career opportunity for you. The fire department coming in, maybe this is a career choice for you. Just even looking at the podcast, like, hey, there's opportunities out there outside the box, outside of your world. You can dream bigger than what you see, maybe just Monday through Friday in your own home.
So that's going to be something. And again, it's kind of an evolving program. We're going to get started with it. EJ is going to keep us responding on how we can make sure we always find ways to get folks there. I do want to kind of go into next year a little bit of the things that we're going to be doing. Obviously, we've got talk a little bit about some of the activities you got. I know you've got a full calendar every year. You always do things. Heart the City again.
Heart the City's coming up in August, so we got some time to plan that. That's one of our biggest events. We just did our year-end budget, and so Heart the City got a big chunk of that, and that's just a way for us to love on the city. Easter, of course. Christmas is this weekend. So I guess when this comes out, Christmas has already come. So I hope that you've been at our church.
Right.
But if you haven't, there's always something going on. And our big point for 2025 is our community engagement. Yeah. There's 3 things that we say we do at Field of Grace. We engage our community, we embrace the hurting, and we equip the believing. Our focus in 2025 is really to engage with our community. Yeah. We want them to know not who we are, but we want to know there's a place out there where you can find hope, love, and a community. And, of course, that comes with Jesus for us. But at the end of the day, that's not the string that's attached. We want you to know that you're loved and you're cared for and you're seen. And that's where the community outreach and the community center with Dream Center really comes together with that.
Yeah, I want to add something to what he's talking about. It's all inclusive. There's no restrictions. It's kind of like, Planet Fitness. Yeah. What's our theme? The no shame. No shame.
Don't grunt when you lift weights.
Don't grunt.
Yeah. So again, but going to this church is unconditionally to go to church, not to be judged, just to go. And it again through the traditional institutions, that we think of. Obviously, I'm a Catholic. I don't mind mentioning that on the program. I don't hope that hurts me any. Does it
hurt you? I don't know.
I don't know. No, all kidding aside, but I think it's funny that we sometimes look at religion in the sense of what does that mean? We don't want to do that. We want to be just about community-based first, about people just getting together. Now, where you are in your life, that's everybody's decision to make. But I think what Field of Grace is doing is building a community of people that want to make an impact. And they do it because they feel like they're all unconditionally together. Nobody's judging anybody. And I think that's a big piece that I wanted to bring up. But I also want to bring up this. We had our Light Up Shepherdsville, okay, and it was a great event. I want you to just talk briefly about what you guys did on Buckman for that program. I thought it was really fun. I went through that, and I thought it was great. So just talk a little about it.
So the last few years, we've always had something called the Drive-Through Bethlehem. This is actually something that existed before Field of Grace. Miss Sherry Hurt, which is a genius behind a lot of this, she's created this idea. But this year, we did a smaller version there on Buckman and just got to walk through the Bethlehem experience. So you walk in, maybe the same way Mary and Joseph would have been walking through Bethlehem trying to find an inn. There's vendors selling you all their wares. And then you kind of fast forward and you see the manger scene. You kind of go after that. We fast forward 30 years and you get to see some of the miracles that Christ performed. And then the last thing, before you walk out, you walk into the empty tomb. Yeah. And you get to experience that he's not there, that he is alive, that he's risen. Yeah. And we just want to let people know that, like, he's not dead. He's alive. And so that same Jesus that was there is still available for us today to interact with and have a relationship with. And I think that's an important piece.
Yeah. And I think what I want you guys to get out of that, because everybody has a reason for Christmas, right? It's got a very what I call marketing piece, a ploy of Christmas, because parents are going out and getting second jobs because they're paying for Christmas gifts. Yeah, right. But in these podcasts, I want people, when they do listen to this one, I want them to understand we are not here to promote anything but community-based programs. But I think it's important, as most of us know, and we look at our community and who we are. Yeah, this is an integral part of who we are. Sure, it is. If you look at our community, and it's a problem-solving piece, because we have people coming together that want to help those in need. We're going to be kind to all and help those in need. Those less fortunate in our society, not always on their own terms. Right. And so it's important when you hear this program for Field of Grace. Field of Grace is one of many organizations that are working together to make a community better. And as a mayor, I'm looking for all those partnerships. We're looking for how we all work with everybody to help those in need, looking for jobs, looking for food supplies, looking for shelter. And it's hard for us sometimes. Those are not easy decisions to make. But if everybody's working together, we'll see those numbers get less and less. But we got to find out why. And we understand in our community, and we understand in our nation, mental illness is still an issue. We have a drug issue. And so this was really part of the podcast.
They've both become much greater issues.
They really have.
Decade, yeah.
And so Field of Grace and many organizations that are trying to help people, they also help them get off that bad road.
Yeah.
I remember some of the members that I've met through your church, that's part of their story.
Yeah.
So any way we can get you off that bad road, get you on a good road to be part of this society, well, we're all in for that. And so when we do these podcasts, we talk about the shakers and movers. Yeah, we've got business people on here. You know, we've had a number of people. We've had the mayor do his own little podcast. But it's important for people to realize it takes a community to make this stuff happen. And we have people that are willing to do that now, especially when you look at it, that we're all working together. That's not what I think the city, as elected officials, we want to work harder to work with these partnerships, to make time to work together and go, hey, what would you like to do? And when we're talking about families, we are talking about our kids, our kids and our grandkids, because we want them to have a better community than we have. And if we're not thinking like that, except for Eli, he's still young.
Yeah.
Does he have a driver's license yet? I don't know. If
He does. He does.
Yeah.
It's still turned the sideways, the vertical one.
Oh, yeah. Is that ever changed?
Right? Yours is still vertical, right?
Did you have that?
Yeah, they're vertical too.
So this is really important on
Yes.
the podcast. We
Yeah.
find out what your driver's license is.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, so EJ, so we got the heart of the city, but what else are you going to do next year? What are some of the things that you mentioned Easter, which is a great event, but what other community activities that you do? I know you've done a number of things.
We do. So there's different cleanup days throughout the year. We'll have a big Easter event, of course. During the summertime, we have a big shift, our shift students. So we'll be going to camp this year. We're actually talking to Miss Courtney about offering a local camp. And so that's kind of still in the works. I probably shouldn't drop that right this second.
Okay.
But
he just did.
We're trying to, we're
Well,
trying
maybe
to
it won't be in
partner
the
with-
works by January.
Yeah, by January.
Yeah.
So we're looking at something. So they have the Active Heroes. They've got that 180 acres.
It's
I
a
believe
beautiful
it is.
place. Have you guys been out there?
No, never
Yeah,
been.
you really do need to get out there. It's really a beautiful place. It's in our county. I mean, it was a retreat that was originally set up. Active Heroes' mission is about suicide prevention for veterans. That's their focus, and it's a great retreat out there. It's got some beautiful land out there. They've got a disc golf out there.
Disc golf,
They've got great venues. They got a nice place for wedding
Got
receptions.
Airbnbs now on the
Yep.
property, so
Yep.
it's a beautiful
It's
piece
just
out
open
there.
to anybody.
It's all the funds are to focus back to veterans, but
Right,
they're
yeah.
trying to make it more community engagements.
Okay.
The community can use it, but the funds are going to go to the veterans
Right,
to help
yeah.
finance that. And so that's kind of the piece we're trying to partner with, because it does take both secular and non-secular.
Yeah.
Our purpose is at Field of Grace. We say we exist to bring hope and purpose to people. Our Christian piece is by connecting them to Jesus.
Yeah.
But hope and purpose is universal. Everyone needs hope and everyone needs a purpose.
Right. Yep.
We found that that's greatest found in Christ, but regardless if you get to Christ or not, we still want to help you find hope and a purpose. So back to the Dream Center, that's why partners with the library are so important. The library is getting involved in this. They're going to come out every Wednesday. They're going to bring that piece together. That's a secular version of what we're talking about, but they're going to help kids. Gary Settle, he owns Supreme Lending. He's getting involved and going to do a finance class.
Yeah, good guy.
And so he's just going to teach
That's
finances
a really
there.
good idea,
Yeah, and how to
finance class.
budget and how to plan and how money works. Some things that we should learn in school that oftentimes we don't learn in school.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's another piece where that's kind of a
Can
handshake.
we get Eli in that group? Can Eli go to that course?
He listens to Dave Ramsey.
Oh,
Some I do.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Ramsey's good.
I haven't in a while, but I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's hope. There's hope, Eli.
Do your best Dave Ramsey impression.
Can't.
I ain't got no Dave Ramsey. You putting me on the spot. I don't have
It's
any
rice and
impression.
beans. Man. You'll be on the
Yeah.
rice and beans.
Rice
man.
and beans.
Rice and beans. Yeah, I think all the different things that are going to be out there, and I think more people that know about it will want to volunteer to help those services for kids. We really do need to teach life skills. I mean, for our kids, it's really writing a check.
Yep.
I mean, I know those days are kind of numbered. Everything's automated, and you can do things online. That's going away. But even that piece, understanding it, how to make sure that you manage your online accounts. People just need to know you've got to pay your bills first before you decide what you want for yourself.
Well,
that's a hard discipline.
Yeah, or for people just to understand, like, I know whenever I was a kid, one of the hardest, when I was finally like growing up and starting doing like finance stuff, one of the hardest things for me to figure out was like interest and how all that works.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, a 15, 16, 17-year-old, you're like, wait, what? You're doing what now? But stuff like that, you just don't think about.
And when you get your first house payment, you're like, what? How much did you take
How
out?
much am I paying?
How long am I paying for this? And how much interest did I pay over the 30-year loan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult, but I think what I'd like to see, we'll kick off the Dream Center January 6th, and by this episode being out there, I think most people will at least see that we're trying to be problem solvers.
Sure.
I say that a lot because I think most people in this community have been frustrated over the years of nothing being done. Right? I say that because I believe all that we've done the first couple of years, and our partners such as you, EJ, because you have a vision that you want to see in the community. What you did in the park that Thursday of the Heart of the City was just wonderful. And all the bubbles. You should have been there. It was really a lot of fun.
Bubbles?
Yeah, we had bubbles everywhere. And we had all kinds of different games that they had for the kids. It was a very nice venue in the park.
Yep.
And it goes back to showing that people in our community, they're starving for things like this. We got, like I said, we always talk about the big projects, but simple things in the park, just bringing families together and getting to see each other. I think it's going to make this community a whole lot better. And again, having all the services that we're going to have over the next couple of years, it's going to make what we do. But we couldn't do this without you, EJ.
So that's a good point. You mentioned the party in the park. I was going to drop that. We want to do 4 of those this year,
That's
starting in the
amazing.
spring through the summer, called Party in the Park. We'll bring the bounce houses. We'll bring the games, the carnival style. I'd love to partner with local food trucks and have those events this year in the city and just have that there in the park. Just
And
party,
people love
party
that.
in the park.
And a lot of it's because it's close proximity, too.
Yeah.
Just think about the things we do. People don't want to drive 30 minutes to E-Town or Louisville. We don't want to do that. We want to have it here.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed, I really like a lot of the events that we've been having in the park this past year or so. I've never really gone to anything in the park, and now I've been going to them anytime I can now, and the kids love it.
Well, I think that's what we want to see. And again, this is for even we always talk about Shepherdsville. We are talking about our county, and we do everything we do for the city. But we always want to make sure you've got Nichols, you've got LJ, and you've got parts of Hillview and even Mount Washington side. We want them to come see us because again, it's all about family. Because you got friends and family that live everywhere in the county, right? So by coming out to these events, you get to spend some quality time. But you really start bonding with the rest of the community. You don't want to be one of those, you don't know your neighbors, right? Just like you don't know your neighbors. You just keep going to work and you keep doing the drudge and the grind, and then you come back and you go get your kids and do whatever. Next thing you know, oh, I got neighbors.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get to know those neighbors when you're in the park.
When you need them.
Yeah, you'll be there, and that you start building those relationships. I think the more we do that, the more pride we put in there, everybody's going to be part of the problem solving.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's a big piece. So while you're mentioning being part of the problem solving, we are having dates that are still open. Okay. So maybe someone's listening to this podcast today. They're a community partner. They want to get involved. We've got dates still. I think it's the third Friday still open. You can reach out maybe just through the email that's been attached to this.
What was that email address again?
It's yeswayjosemail@gmail.com.
Bam, there
We'll
it is.
also put your email.
All right,
in.
great.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
You can email us, and then as we expand, we want to get Tuesdays open. We want to get Thursdays open.
Yeah.
We want to make this a 5-day-a-week program. So
It
if
would be
you're
a
out there,
really good relief for these families to know they can have something that's affordable, free, and be able to take care of their kids while they're at work.
Childcare is expensive.
Oh my
It is.
gosh,
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's really gotten crazy.
Yeah.
So I think for us, this is a great start for us. We'll make sure with anything we do with Amber,
yeah,
we'll get her involved in anything that you want out there. We'll publicize it because we know there are people that call us all the time. What can we do? Well, if we've got something that you've got planned, we'll just send them right your way and get them going. Because I know that you guys will always work with everybody, and you never know. That might be somebody that likes what's going on with you guys. That start attending services.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah, it is about growing a good community, and everybody will have their opinion about it. But hey, I'm a simple guy. I believe faith is the big thing.
Yeah,
It's just my opinion. That's what we're entitled to in America, right?
Yeah, so like if you got an opinion about it, who cares? Who cares if you got an opinion about it? Like,
I think it's important for everybody to realize that you're going to continue doing what you're doing. You got a great passion for it, and we're honored to call you a partner.
Amen.
And so grace, and
here.
And I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a 2025. It's going to be a great year. We're going to hope that Eli gets some more sleep.
He
did really good today.
Try.
He did really good. You did actually. You're hanging up pretty good.
He hasn't
Except for
fallen
the one
asleep
time
at
you
all.
prayed.
Yeah,
The one
hasn't
time
hit me
you
yet. Yeah.
His eyes are getting a little heavy.
Can
it
you
looks like.
please make sure you get home safely? You're going with him.
We'll see. I'm
No,
I'm
he
all
goes
separate.
separate.
Yeah,
We'll go separate.
We'll see.
Be careful.
Yeah.
You might have to text me, make sure you get home. I'll be like your dad.
I'll make him drive in front of me so I can
There you
follow
go.
him and watch
I
him.
will make sure he's good. EJ, thank you so much for being
Absolutely.
here. We really are excited. You are our first official two-time guest.
Yeah,
This
double
is
guest.
three.
Reoccurring.
We'll probably
Yeah.
do something because, again, I want to continue to keep on bringing some of the other partners on. But I love what you guys are doing. We want to make sure everybody knows that Field of Grace is a great partner for the city of Shepherdsville and for the county.
Yeah.
I really do. I've seen the things that you guys do in different areas. So thank you so much. We wish you and your family the very best of the 2025. Looking forward to working with you. And you know what we got to do. You know. Love Peace Chicken.
No,
I was gonna say, I don't think he knows.
See?
He did not know.
Oh, he didn't.
I said
And,
I
and
did
I just
not
want you to
know.
know. See, I just did this. I told the kids I did a reading of how the Grinch Stole Christmas, and I said, you guys want to do something fun? And in each class, and I said, you get to yell, and if you let kindergartens know they can yell,
Oh, yeah.
they're like in.
Yeah.
So we got our hands in together and did the 1, 2, 3 Love Peace Chicken Grease, and they were just
good.
screaming it, and they loved it. I go, what is that?
cool.
No, so it's just my signature thing. Anyway. EJ, God bless you and your family. Thank you for all that you do in this community.
Thank
and
you, guys.
You're a great partner. Anyway, Field of Grace. Keep an eye on them. We're going to like good things in the community. And 1, 2, 3, Love Peace Chicken Grease. Thank you, EJ.
Yeah,
Thank
come
you guys
on.
for listening.